Well, here we are again. Thanks for watching this video. I didn't expect to be doing something like this again so soon, but I've tripped on some good comic finds yesterday, unexpectedly, and wanted to share those with you. But you might wonder why Spider-Man, why the Jada metal Spider-Man figure is sitting there. Well, that's because I didn't want it just to be an empty space while I was talking and while I was introing the video. I wanted you to have something cool to look at. But if you're into the Jada figures at all, this particular Spider-Man figure is the variant, as I understand it, on the regular, what's that called? Stealth, the stealth figure, the stealth costume Spider-Man. The other one is red and black, not green and black. And so when I found that, I thought that's nice. I'll put that with my other Jada figures. I'm a die-cast metal guy, and I'll do a video one day on the die-cast metal. But I've been really pleased with the Jada figures, and I've just with the quality, the overall quality, the heft of them, they really are. When they say solid die-cast metal, they're being pretty serious about that. So anyway, all right, so that's that. Here's what I wanted to get with you about or do the video on. Now, I don't do much with... there's a few variants out there. I like variant covers. I do not chase after variants for the most part. But I am aware that there are some variants out there called... oh, I just lost the word. They're mostly Artgerm variants, and they're floating around. They've been doing them for quite a few years, but they are, I don't know how long they've been popular, but I've found a few in some cheap boxes and flipped them. Well, I found some more yesterday. I found a Batgirl number 10 from the 2010 series, or 2009-2010 series. That is an Artgerm cover, which evidently is sought after by some, but that's I got that for $1.50. Dawn of the Technically Dead, it reads at the top of that cover, but got that for $1.50. As I also got the Batman 11 Artgerm cover for $1.50. Glad to find those. Plan on, just to be quite honest with you, plan on flipping those on eBay. And listen, if that makes you feel, if you always think it's kind of seedy, it makes you feel kind of bad to flip things on eBay. It actually does make some people feel bad. I've never understood it, because if you're lucky enough to trip on something that is worth more than what you paid for it, or that people are seeking after or seeking out at the time, go for it, man. Whatever keeps you from having to write a check or cut into that personal account for those goodies we like to buy. So Batgirl 10 and 11 Artgerm covers, and then also Batman 13 Artgerm cover, and being swallowed up by Clayface there, and it looks like she thinks that's just gross. So anyway, they are nice covers, really beautiful to look at. I actually found a few other issues of that Batgirl series, including the first three, Batgirl 1, 2, and 3. I thought, well, I'll give them a read, see if I like them, and if they're entertaining enough, I'll just go ahead and buy the trades. But I'll definitely be flipping the Artgerm covers. I also found some Zatanna, some of the early Zatanna issues from the 2009 series, or the series that started in 2010, I'm sorry, 2010. Some of them have some beautiful Adam Hughes covers. Evidently those are highly sought after. Also got some of those for $1.50 a piece. I'm always leery and kind of careful with Zatanna, because they always like to play her up for the cheap, for the tawdry. They go to the tawdry side for her, the cheesecake, and the kind of the prepubescent interests that go along with a woman in fishnets. So I'm always careful about that. I want to make sure there's a good story there and it's not just gratuitous. So anyway, found those in the $1.50 box and was really glad to do so. I also found, these were a couple of interesting finds in the $1.50 box. This is a Walt Disney Donald Duck number 144. Now, it was originally printed, obviously, in the Silver Age as a 15-cent comic, but it is a Whitman reprint, Whitman variant, and it was, in fact, the When you look inside the first page, the indicia indicates that it was, this particular one was printed in 1974. So, and someone named Mark S. wrote their name on Donald's hindquarters there. But anyway, it was just kind of a neat find for $1.50. Thought that's worth bagging and boarding and putting away. And these were not bagged and boarded in a box in a thrift store. And I was surprised, quite frankly, at the how well they had, what kind of condition they had stayed in. Now, I also found, even better than that, I found a Whitman 3-pack of Uncle Scrooge and Disney duck-related issues for $1.50. As it says there, 3 comics, $1.80 value for $1.39. I kind of got right in there, right in the middle there with the $1.50. Now, it's hard to tell what issues those are, obviously, because I don't want to open up the bag. Sometimes, though, these bagged these comic bags, 3 comics per bag outfits are they're quite sought after by collectors. Now, the bag's pretty beat up. In fact, there is a tiny tear. I saw a tear. There it is. Tiny tear on both sides. But the comic has not. It's easy to tell that the comic has not been removed. There's the tear up there. But you can clearly see the comics on each side. You can't see the one in the middle, obviously. And I just noticed that. You just saw there does seem to be some buckling on the inside caused by some water damage. Oh my gosh! Now you can groan with me. I just noticed that for this video. Didn't look over that very carefully, evidently, but I will still give that a press and see what it happens to do for that, because a good press can sometimes work what seems like miracles. Now, I was going to say something about pressing, but I'll wait. I'll save that for another video. I have formed an opinion on pressing. Haven't been doing it for very long, but I'll just tell you right up front, I'm annoyed by the people who say, you're damaging your comics when you do that. That just annoys me. And I have my reasons for that, but I'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, so those were out of the $1.50 box. Now, lately I had decided I wanted to go back and read the series from the 1980s, mid to late 1980s from DC, called, the Blue Beetle series, the DC's first foray, or first modern foray into Blue Beetle. But I'd been grabbing various issues even as early as number 2 for 50 cents to $1 a piece. Nice issues at a local comic store that's actually closing down in Claremore, Oklahoma, called Mad Dog's Emporium. But anyway, hate to hear that that's going by the wayside. But anyway, I'd been looking for a Blue Beetle number 1. Actually, kind of rare for me, anyway, in my experience, kind of rare in the wild for a decent price. And on eBay, it looked like they would always start around $10 and then shipping. This one I happened to find. I ended up buying it. I was the only person who bid on it for 99 cents. Shipping was about $3, so I got a Blue Beetle number 1 for under $5, which I hadn't found anything like that at any comic book store lately. Oh, there goes my press right there. Hang on just a second. All right. So there's my Blue Beetle number 1. Now I can really begin going after that series in earnest. Really like that series. And I'm actually, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but you find a comic that has well, I'll just say it like this because I don't think it's happened with any other character. So I for years, I have to dig around here now for a moment. For years, I had a Blue Beetle comic. I have had this Blue Beetle comic published by AC Comics years ago. Let me look at the print date. It was published by AC Comics in 1983, and with Charlton Publications, used with permission. This was AC Comics number 3, and there you have the modern day Blue Beetle and the Golden Age Blue Beetle having at it. Is that the Golden Age or Silver Age? I am not a Blue Beetle expert, but I've had that one for a long time. Never read the story. But here's the thing: when I started going after the Blue Beetle comics, the DC Blue Beetle comics from the '80s, I came upon number 18, and there he is again. There's a Ted Kord Blue Beetle battling, which I don't even know if he's Ted Kord. Was he Ted Kord in the original in the Charlton comics? When Ditko created the new Blue Beetle, was he Ted Kord? I don't know. Anybody out there know? But when I saw this one, he's a modern Blue Beetle fighting the Golden Age Blue Beetle. I thought, well, now I really have to get the rest of this series, read up to number 18, and then read the Americomics story, and just see how they stand up. Someone's texting me. See how they stand up. That's my obsessive compulsive nature working into my comics collecting. So now I have to, starting with number 1, Blue Beetle number 1, have to read all through 18 at least, and then I'll read that one to see how they stand up. Anyway, just a few finds from just a few finds from the last couple of days. The Blue Beetle came in the mail just today. Really happy to see it. No, not that one. The other one. Blue Beetle number 1. Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, that's the one that came in the mail today, and I almost dropped it. So anyway, can't wait to kind of really start collecting those in earnest. But hey, any Blue Beetle readers out there? Or you know, and again, like I asked last time, what are some of your finds? Tell me about some of your finds, your great finds. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe so that you know when new videos are popping up, because I'm actually making plan on making quite a few in the coming weeks. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hey, let me know what some of your finds are. Direct me to some of your videos. I love seeing what people find in the wild, or what great deals they find online, or just what great comics deals they fall backwards into. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.